He is the former U.S. Secretary of Energy, my old job, and CEO of Energy Futures Initiative. Ernest Moniz is right here. Doctor, how are you, sir? Great to see you again. Yes. All right. Well, I wanted you here because you know all things nuclear, and I've been hearing that word a lot more than I've heard it in, I don't know, maybe ever. I mean, I was too young to remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, but I feel like that's the last time we all in America had this much anxiety about nuclear war. We keep hearing about this, so I thought you're the perfect guy to talk about this. Maybe you'll allay our fears, or maybe we'll all shit our pants and jump out the window after we talk. But you're head of something called the Nuclear Threat Initiative. What is that? Are they helping? This is about the worries we have now, right?
Well, first of all, we don't promote nuclear threats. We try to remove them.
Oh, I understand.
But you're absolutely right. There's no doubt that a lot of people. I just saw an article. Gen X is reliving the childhood concerns about nuclear war. This has all come about because of Putin's rather reckless language in terms of possibly using nuclear weapons. It's the most dangerous period.
And what is your organization doing about it? That's what we're worried about.
Well, so we have been working, for example, we had a success in January that was rapidly overturned. We had a success when Putin, along with Biden and the leaders of China, the UK, and France, signed a joint statement, first time, that nuclear war cannot be won and should not be fought. Well, 2 months later, Putin says, hey, if things aren't going well, you know, maybe I'm going to use a nuclear weapon. They have a doctrine called escalate to de-escalate. And what it means is that if things aren't going well, they might use what they call a small nuclear weapon, 5 kilotons. Oklahoma City was 2 tons, for example, to give you a scale.
Was not nuclear.
And it was not nuclear, and
okay.
no radioactivity
right.
as well.
That's what we worry about, the radioactivity.
So this is not, well, and the blast as well. I mean, depends where it lands.
Well, yes, but, you wouldn't want to be in the blast, but the vast majority of the world would not be in the blast, but we would worry about radioactive fallout.
Suffer from
goes
that.
all around the world.
Exactly. And so the idea is that they might use one if things are going badly. I might note, things are going badly. And the idea is that the enemy would back off. But the reality is, we think that there's at least as good a probability that it would escalate to a full-fledged nuclear war.
I tell you, what I worry about even before this is the, you know, there are lost nuclear weapons. We don't know where they all are. There was a movie, I remember it, I think it was with John Travolta, called Broken Arrow. Mm-hmm. You ever see that movie?
Correct. Right.
The line that I remember that was so chilling was that the guy says, I don't know what's scarier, the fact that there are lost nuclear weapons or that there are so many, we have a term for it. That's what a broken arrow is. Since 1950, I think there's like 32. Right. 6 of them we've never recovered. One fell off an aircraft carrier into the bottom of the ocean. It's there now. Somebody has the ones we haven't found.
Well, hopefully it's still sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, that one may be.
That one. But others, unfortunately, American weapons fell in North Carolina, for example.
How do you lose a nuke?
It's
really, that's a hard, it's big.
It's considered very poor military practice. But the biggest story there really is when the Soviet Union fell apart. There was really no inventory of weapons, but even more so of the material, the uranium and plutonium, to make weapons, because they never bothered to count. So we went in, we, the United States and other countries, we went in hard. The so-called non-Lugar program in Russia and Ukraine and Belarus and Kazakhstan to try to nail down all of those materials, because the last thing we want is getting into the hands of a terrorist.
Right. Well, they probably used nails. That's my issue, is that, you know, when I see how incompetent this Russian military is, it makes me worry. It makes me almost nostalgic for the days when we thought we could shoot them down. Remember Star Wars? I mean, it was, what was the official SDI? was
Yes, yeah.
under Reagan, but they called it Star Wars. But the idea was,
Right.
we don't have to lock them down anywhere, because if they come over, we can shoot them down. Now, that never happened, and it never could.
That's a myth. I mean, we could perhaps shut down, you know, like
But
one,
Israel
one
shoots
rogue
down
missile.
conventional missiles.
Yeah, those are much shorter range.
I
missiles.
understand, but the technology exists to intercept something, no?
Well, the Patriot defense.
Right,
for
but we
example.
can't shoot
But we could probably shoot one down, maybe
Right.
from Iran or from North Korea. But you know, if we have hundreds of Russian missiles coming in, intercontinental, there is frankly no chance to defeat that. So it's all deterrence. That would be a suicidal mission, because we would do the same to them.